Welcome back to Hot Breath, the show where you learn comedy from the pros. I am your host, comedian Joel Byers, and our guest today is by far one of my favorite comics working today. It's true. It's so true.
Goodness.
We've interviewed over 400 comics on here, but this is a comic you're definitely going to want to keep an eye out on. You may have seen her blowing up on social media or her late night sets or her comedy album Dirty Bird, but all of her success actually started over 10 years ago grinding at open mics in New York, doing 30 plus shows a week while also balancing 3 day jobs. So this is not an overnight success, but as her favorite quote, or one of her favorite quotes, the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, hot brethren and sister, and she has a master's degree in art. And today, you are getting a master's degree in comedy. Welcome to the Hot Breathiverse, Caitlin Peluffo.
Hello. Hi. How did you know that much about me?
I know you. AI.
Okay.
Yeah, just AI
like,
Caitlin
I have
Peluffo.
said all of those things. That's crazy. Oh, my God.
Yeah, well, people deserve to know.
Yeah.
You're important.
No, I truly believe that. The harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I live my life.
Yeah.
As you could tell, you came into my hotel room and I was in the back just chugging a creatine shake and a protein bar. I just came from the gym. Sorry, I'm a little workout troll.
I thought it was weird you were snorting lines of creatine.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah, I mean, I was prepping. It's not every day you get 3 grown men coming into your hotel room
No, this is the first time
with
we've
a
done
camera.
Well, I've been wanting to interview for a while, and I was in Raleigh doing a corporate event, and you just so happened to be here. So I hit up some local comics here, Colin and Joel, and we're like,
Hi.
hey, can the Hot Breathiverse come together and help make this moment happen?
We
And we're
sure
doing it.
can. We're doing it. This is great.
So how does it feel for you right now? With all of you've been grinding for over a decade, and it seems like you're breaking through now. What does this feel like?
If I'm breaking through, it's news to me.
You can feel good about yourself.
I feel very proud of myself. It's the first time in my life I've ever lived alone, and I don't have any other jobs besides comedy.
Okay.
So I feel very accomplished in that. But as I'm sure you know, workaholic mentality. You can't stop, won't stop. You just like, okay, what's the next thing? What am I doing? Like last month, I felt insane. All of December, I felt crazy because I didn't have a goal. And then I had to create my own. You have to create your own goals. So I had to figure out what my goals were. And so now I feel a little bit more settled, but not in accomplishment, but in having a focus.
What do you mean insane? Like depressed? Like you wanted to quit?
No.
What was it?
I always want to quit.
Amen.
No, I'm kidding.
We're too far in now.
I know. This is my 3rd career. I had to. This one's got to work. I can't go to real estate. It's more like it's a lostness. Like you do your sets, but when you have a focus, you're like, okay, I'll work on this joke because eventually it's going to be on this thing, or I'm going to do a special and I need these to work together. But I went through a big life change, big breakup. And so it was like I had to be nice to myself and let myself readjust. But in doing that, you just feel kind of like you're just floating in the ocean and there's no buoy around and you don't know what you're doing and you don't know why you're writing or what it's for or who's it going to be for or who's going to see it. And you just kind of like, I guess I'm in this for the love of the game. I don't know. But once you kind of realize that if you put your feet down, there's ground under there, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
What a weird analogy, but
you're in therapy, it sounds like.
I am. I'm in therapy.
Yeah.
It's working.
Yeah, it's important. Everyone should do it.
Absolutely. Are you in therapy?
Of course.
Good boy.
Thank you.
Good boy.
Zoom therapy.
Me too.
It's like diet therapy.
No, I love it.
Yeah,
because I literally shower, come out, I have the towel around my head. I'm like, let's get into it. Why am I broken?
I just think it's important for people to hear that perspective because it's easy from social media to see you growing these followers and selling tickets, but to realize there is still self-doubt and still struggle and still like that figuring it out aspect.
Of course, always. I mean, I talked to some of the veterans at the Cellar, and they're always like, I don't know, I got to go to Dallas. I hate selling. I can't sell in Dallas. I can't get this one joke to work. And like they obsess over this one joke. It like never goes away.
Oh.
This like need to like improve and get better. And find more fans, and it's just like, and I'm like, I watched your special made me want to do comedy, and he's just like, I hate flying. And it's just like, oh my God, okay.
That's very encouraging that it never ends.
It never ends.
That's
the
so
sorrow
great.
is always here. You have to get comfortable with your sorrow.
Well, how did you start to develop these goals? Like, how do you, because that's something I'm currently kind of going through in like limbo of like, well, what do I want to do? What am I working towards?
Yeah, it's I start with a 5-year goal.
Okay.
Both personal and what's it called?
Professional?
Thank you.
Yes.
The creatine better kick in quick. But yeah, I start with a 5-year goal, and then every year I try and reassess where I am, and then what's going to help me get to that 5-year goal. But in the last like 5-6 months, I got thrown a loop. I was supposed to get married. We ended up not getting married. It's a whole thing. I'm single.
Oh, fun.
It's now a personal podcast. But no, so it was like, so I had to reassess like, okay, what are my new goals, personal and professional? But yeah, mostly it's just, I don't do the big goals of, I must have a Netflix special. It's more like, or I have to be on the Tonight Show. My goals are more, I have to, by the end of the year, I need to have a 5-minute tape to submit to the Tonight Show. So they're like actionable goals instead of like, if I'm not on the Tonight Show, I failed. It's more like, no. The goal is to create more than succeed. Does that make sense?
And to do things that you
Does
can
that make
control.
sense, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
And like having goals that you're in control of as well. Like I want to get onto the night show. You can only do so much.
Yeah.
Like there's a booker and things like that in place, but you can do the work to create the best set possible to then submit to the Tonight Show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's where I kind of start my goals, is what can I control? And then on top of that, what am I ready for? Because I think 3 years ago, if I said, I'm ready for an hour special, I was delusional and crazy. And now I'm like, okay, I'm ready for an hour special on YouTube. It's like,
yeah.
I can do let's do a YouTube. So it's like, I can control that. I can, So getting the hour together, that's why I'm here in Raleigh trying to get it ready.
So is that your goal for this year, is to have a new hour?
Just have a long form stand-up available for people.
Okay.
So whether that be an hour or a half hour, just something more than 5 minutes or 15 minutes that people can see. Yeah.
Because Dirty Bird you just released as an audio album?
Just an audio album.
You had the video for clips, I guess, but not.
Yeah. And I chunked it up into, I think, 10 to 15 minute sections, and I'm going to start releasing those a little more consistently.
Oh, great.
But yeah, I did it for the clips. We're doing it all for the clips. And so I need to do that again. It's been about 1.5 years since that came out, so it's time. And I have an hour, and it's ready to go, and I'm proud of it.
Oh,
so
that's great.
Of course, there's always like this parts where you're like, well, that can be different. And
Yeah.
Why do I have to say the P word so much? Is this a clean podcast?
No, not with you on here.
Okay, I was going to say.
No way.
I was like, I swear to God, my whole special is about, or my whole hour is about talking about my pussy. And
the new one? And you're so proud of it. I love your
so
this new hour. It's the best.
I'm a poet.
It's my opus. Yes.
Yeah, but it's wild because I know you work clean.
I
yes?
do.
Yeah. So I wasn't sure. I wanted to make sure I didn't
No.
throw out the P word.
No, this is just comedy here.
Yeah.
I look like a youth pastor, but I won't pray over you or anything.
Thank you. I look like a muscle mommy. That's what I am. Have you seen those porns with the? I'm okay. Obviously not. I can't believe I asked the youth pastor. Have you seen the muscle mommy porns? That's what I look like.
It's like I thought I recognized you.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm only doing comedy.
Yes. I knew you made it.
Yes. Yeah. Rent's expensive.
Well, good for you.
I know. No judgment. Live your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. Yeah. And it takes me a while to write material. That's what I've learned.
Well, I mean, you spent 10 years to get the first one out. So the fact that in 1.5 years, you're already like back to releasing another one, that's great.
Yeah. Do you ever feel this? I always just get so sick of my jokes. Because
I just don't sometimes know what I'm doing. Like sometimes,
well, that,
I mean, it's like I self-released a comedy special on my 10-year anniversary, and then I did a dry bar special. And then since I did the dry bar a few years ago, I'm kind of like, what am I doing? Where am I writing towards? I have some stuff I'm excited about, but it's not cohesive, and I'm kind of a little bit over here and a little bit over there. There isn't like a defined set.
Yeah.
That kind of, I'm like, oh, I'm really hammering this out. It's been a little more tedious than I had anticipated getting this new hour together.
Yeah, I'm just one of those people who my therapist would say I overshare. It's a porous boundary, okay?
A porous boundary?
Very porous boundary. I tell everybody my life story. So instead of, but I know other comics who are like, this is the joke. Yes, I am now divorced, but this is the joke about being married, and I will tell this joke about being married until it's on TV. And I can't do that. I can't go up there and lie, you know?
Yeah.
And I know it's not lying. It's just them respecting the joke and honoring the joke. And I'm like, I can't go up there and be like, I'm engaged. And inside be like, ah! I'm dying on the inside.
Was there stuff about divorce now? Or not divorce? I mean, you were engaged.
Yeah,
married,
There's stuff about the breakup now, but I'm like changing the connectors. There's like a few jokes that I just had to throw out completely, because when you change them to past tense, it's either too sad or too mean. You know, so when you're teasing your partner, you know, in a joke, it's fun because you're like, but you love this person. We know that you love this person. But then when you're like, my ex, he, you know, blah, blah, blah. Then they're like, you hate this person. And that's a little mean. And, you know, so
they don't take your side.
No. And no. And sometimes, like if you already like me, you'll take my side. But if you, if I'm trying to win over a tourist from Toronto at the Comedy Cellar, they're going to be like, that was a little mean, eh? And
sometimes it take time to like ferment. Like the joke just kind of has to age over time.
Yeah, and I also don't, like we didn't end badly, so I don't want to come off as mean. You know, he's a good guy.
Oh, so. You didn't end badly, but you were almost married? Sounds like a porous boundary there.
Sounds like a mess is what it sounds like. Sounds like me trying to keep it apolitical, huh?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's whatever you want to talk about.
We're totally fine. But
everything's fine.
I have 3 men in my hotel room. Everything's fine.
Lay on the couch. Let's
you call that
relax.
A couch? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, that's good to know, though. Yeah, I didn't. I don't know. Yeah, sometimes I'm excited, and then other times it's like, it seems like there'd be so much momentum in comedy to where like sometimes you're like, I'm killing it this month. I have so much momentum. And then another month you're like, oh, I have writer's block. I don't even know what I'm doing. Why am I doing this anymore? It's like
all the time. And then I work so dirty. So when I go on stage and a crowd clearly does not want dirty, and then I'm up there, I'm like, why didn't you write clean jokes, you stupid bitch? Talk about a washing machine, anything!
But you could do your style and not be as dirty, though.
I can,
and
yes.
still kill.
Yes, but then I get angry, and I'll get on stage, and I'm like, oh, you don't want dirty? I'm going to double down, and then they get horrified. But I am starting to work cleaner. I work with Fortune Feimster.
Yeah.
And she works pretty clean. She's like PG-13, you know, and I have to clean it up when I work with her, when I open for her. So she's forced me to write cleaner, and I'm grateful for that because now I can switch gears if I need to. But if I'm performing in front of my crowd, let her rip.
Has she given you advice and things like that? Like, what have you learned from working with her?
From working with her, she is great. She's a slow grind. She is all about building markets. And so she writes and she rewrites. She writes on stage, which is what I do as well. And she'll, you know, her career is incredible. She's lasted 20 years, over 20 years.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a big flash for her. She had to build, like, not selling out until she finally, like 15 years in, was like, okay, now I'm selling out. And thank God I already built these markets. I went to the small cities around the country, and now more people are coming back. And she's told me the importance of a meet and greet. Very important to, no, even if you think you bombed, be out there and be like, hi, would you like to touch me and take a picture? You know, like she's great in that way, and she's very professional, very low maintenance. But yeah, and then the importance of working clean. She was like, you just get, you know, the net is cast a little wider for working clean. And I was like, you're right. So I started doing that. I've luckily, because of my 2 late nights, I've been able to navigate working with her a little bit easier. But and it also makes me think of a joke. Like I'll look at jokes and be like, is there a way that I can do this without saying pussy?
Mm-hmm.
And yes, usually there is. And usually it's more creative and more fun. So it's like, okay, and innuendo is also exciting.
Yeah. So how will you clean up? Because I was recently talking to a comic who said, like a newer comic that was talking about they turned down like a 10-minute gig at a church that was like $500 because they couldn't do 10 minutes clean. And I'm like, you can figure out how to do 10 minutes clean. So like how do you clean up maybe for like comics that want to clean up their jokes a little bit? How do you kind of go about doing it?
Well, sometimes I substitute fuck for date.
Okay.
That's a very easy one. That joke I was able to, because the joke is my sister is the opposite of me. She married the first man she ever kissed, immediately had 2 kids. I have fucked 4 different Christophers. And so now I say I have dated 4 different Christophers. And it works just as well for a cleaner crowd. Yeah, you wouldn't.
Incredible.
You wouldn't. I mean, no one laughed, but that's okay. I was like, I have an audience. I'll try a joke. You guys, nothing. Okay.
This is a home team. You're
no,
safe
no,
here.
no,
I thought you were about to leave. I was like, wait.
Yeah.
We're just
I'm gonna go cut myself. No.
Where's my creatine?
Yeah, I need to snort it now. No, but a lot of times it's just there was one thing. I like to go silly.
Yeah.
So like I used to call my ex a little bitch, and every man here was like Jesus, but but when we were together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No more.
This was during sex.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Intimate times. That's how, have you ever been intimate with a guy? Instead of say fucking a guy, I've been intimate with a guy. But now I used to call him like a little wimp. And wimp is just so funny. What a funny word, little wimp. But yeah, it's just changing out certain words. And then I go silly. So it's like not just that being, not the fuck is not the funny word. It's literally like, oh, you ever do a little whoopee? Like
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's how I tend to go. I go goofball.
It just requires just a little more effort. It's like I feel like a lot of our initial impulse is like, okay, here's the dirty version. All right, that's good enough. It works. But if you just go a little bit further, you may even find new tags because you haven't gotten complacent with this is the joke and how it works. I don't. I mean, I'm clean just because I always have been, really. But I believe every comic can be when they need to be because there's just more work if you can be clean.
Yes.
You can entertain more people. Like you can do corporate events and things. Like you can make a living faster at comedy if you can be clean.
Yeah.
So I feel like every comic, it's a skill at least every comic should be able to have.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
or do you agree?
So
or
I do agree.
You seem like you're pondering as
I was thinking because it's like part of me is like, yes, you should be able to work clean, but you need to be able to work clean and still be yourself.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yes.
That's where I was struggling for a little bit. I was like, how do I was like, I'm filthy, but I'm also just like, I like talking about the embarrassing, filthy things. And then it's like, okay, all right. But then take that same point of view and just put it on to something else that isn't inherently disgusting, So yeah, it's if you can figure out a way to do that, then you'll have a lot more success, I feel like.
And just not stopping at the dirty thought.
Yeah.
If like you still have the dirty thought.
Yeah.
But I think that's what Mark Norman said on here was like, because his advice to younger comics was like, get better at clean comedy sooner. He's like, that's something I wish I had focused on.
Yeah.
Because he said when he started working with Seinfeld, he had to like comb through all his albums just to find enough material to be able to open for Seinfeld. It was clean enough. And he was saying how it's not saying don't write dirty, just don't stop at the dirty thought.
Yeah.
So still let your creativity flow, and if it comes out dirty, fine, but then just put in the extra work to tweak it a little bit here and there. Like you said, just a little bit of word choice can be the difference between it being clean or not.
Yeah. And then don't give up if the first way doesn't work. You have to keep trying. But yeah, comedy's hard.
Yeah.
They don't tell you that. It's hard.
Yeah. Yeah. It never ends.
No, we make it look easy, but it's hard.
It is really hard.
Yeah.
I think that's what I noticed watching you live a few times now was like the first time I saw you live in Atlanta. You just obliterated the room in a way I've never really seen before, and I was like, maybe she just caught a wave. Maybe like I'd heard of you but never seen you live, and I was like, oh, sometimes you're clicking on all cylinders like when you're in a rhythm with a crowd and you're just killing it every word. I was like, oh, maybe I caught her like when she just was in a rhythm, and then every time I've seen you since, it's like, no, you just do that all the time. You kill an audience in a way that like I've never really seen, and that leaves me thinking that maybe I should quit comedy if I can never be that good.
No, don't quit comedy. I try to be very present on stage.
Okay.
And I'm always jealous of the people who can stand there and hold their ground and just tell their jokes. But I literally, everything that happens in a room, I notice it and I'm very present, and then I have to call it out. I have to, like last night, this guy, he went to pee right before I go on stage, and he comes to sit down. He's wearing a satchel, like a man purse. And he's sitting in the front row, and he's wearing this purse. And I literally, the whole time, I was like, I cannot believe you're not going to take it off. You're going to wear it the whole show. Like the whole show, just a full purse, the whole show. And he was like, I am from France. And I was like, yeah. And so I kept throughout the whole hour, just kept calling back to this one weirdo who was very nice. He said hi after the show. He bought some stickers. Thank you so much.
Oh,
but
oui.
Yeah. Also, I think I've never been hit on more than I have in Raleigh.
Interesting. You've been here one night.
I hand to God, I was up there. The couple in the front ended up hitting on me, and they were like, well, you want to find out if I am circumcised? And I was like, Jesus Christ. And then another couple in the back, they were on a second date, and she was like, well, I'm bi if you want to.
Oh,
and I was like,
gosh.
Jesus Christ. And then over there was a throuple who was going on a date interviewing a guy to join their throuple. What? And they were like, but if you want to. And I was like, are you kidding me? What is this?
Wow.
So much sex positivity in Raleigh. I had no idea.
We have a camera and lights. If you want to call any of them, we can.
Oh my God! I couldn't believe it. It made me bashful. I was like, I was just talking about fisting, and then I was like, oh my God, guys, stop! It was insane. Oh, but yeah, I try and stay present.
Yeah, as you're doing that, you're like, that's a clip. That's a clip. That's a clip.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that'll never get monetized because I'm literally like, you want to fuck me? Who wants to fuck me? Like. Oh my God. But yeah, I think I just try and stay really present, and then I've now begun to trust the first thought that comes out of my head. I think within the first 5 years, you're like, what's the funny thing? What's the funny thing? And then now it's just like, if it's coming to your head, just say it. Unless it's racist.
Then you whisper it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You look over both shoulders first before you say
write it in your hate journal. No. But yeah. So trusting the first thing that you think of, because I'm pretty basic, so it's usually the first thing everybody else is also thinking. Oh. That's what I try to do. Like, I've discovered that if you're good at the game Family Feud, you're like a basic bitch. You know what I mean? Because you're literally buzzing in, being like, what does everyone else think? And it's like, if you know what everyone else is thinking, then you're normal.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That's part of our job in being like relatable.
Yes.
Or a joke having a turn is you first understand what the audience is thinking, and then you put a turn on it.
Someone was like, if you're good at Family Feud, you're smart. And I was like, no, it means you're fucking unoriginal.
You're normal. You're
normal.
human.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But I am very good at Family Feud.
Yeah. Well, and crowd work. So that
and
maybe that's part of why you're so good at crowd work.
I think what everyone else is thinking.
But you do it in a way that isn't hacky or
oh my God,
I've just seen some clips where it's literally like a comic starting crowd work and the audience member is like, the other comic already asked me that question. They're like, well, now I'm asking it. I'm just like, oh my gosh. I guess it's good for comedy.
No.
Is crowd work all right? Is it ruining comedy?
I think it's ruining comedy in
as you post crowd work clips.
As I post crowd work, I understand, because you don't burn material.
Right.
It's like a necessary evil. It's like a trick. It's something that I've always been good at because I'm naturally curious about people, and I get so distracted on stage. But when you have just crowd work specials and like that's what you're selling, I think that's what now people expect. Mm-hmm. They come to a show and they expect to be talked to. They expect for the show to be about them. And so I try and post crowd work and then a joke, crowd work, joke. And I always do the crowd work where I'm the one initiating. I don't ever want to be shouted at and then I have to react to them, because that just promotes bad behavior. So I try and be like, and da-da-da-da-da, you know. It's like a little nuance, but I think it helps. But yeah, I don't think crowd work I think it's great that people are into stand-up comedy now, but I hate that some crowds just don't know how to act when it comes to seeing a live show. In that way, I think it's bad.
What about for young comics that they don't even have a type 5, but they're chasing crowd work clips?
They're so stupid.
Like,
don't do that.
Yeah, what do you think? Like, it's just weird because we started before social media. So, like, we're just like, oh, you just have to live on stage and just get up as much as possible and develop jokes. But now comics are like, oh, I have to get funny and I have to learn how to edit and set up a camera and do my set list. Like, it's so many different things now. So it's hard for me to look at it through their perspective. But the old soul in me is like, well, just get good first. Yeah,
I think it's so important to learn how to write jokes first. Like, I would say in the first 3-4 years, don't film yourself and put it out into the world. Film yourself to take notes and learn, but don't let anyone see your shit for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, I did Colbert when I was 4.5 years in, almost 5 years in, which I think now is too soon because people started to headline me and I didn't have an hour. And so I think that actively hurt me. I should have waited a year and like gotten my out. I mean, you can't really wait when they ask you to do it. What are you going to say? No. No. But I think long term, I think it did have some negative effects because it just kind of stunted my growth, you know, in a way. Like like if I wanted to work those clubs again, they would be like, well, she stinks. Why would we have her back, you know? So it took me years to be able to come back and headline certain clubs. And then when you get that success early on and that validation early on, you're constantly searching for it. What's the next thing? And then you're ignoring the actual act of getting better and just trying to chase the quick endorphins. So keep the camera. Don't post on social media don't do it. Maybe a front-facing video. Have fun with those, but don't do any jokes on stage. Just get good. Don't do crowd work. Just fucking focus on the active, because it's hard.
Yes.
Writing jokes is so hard, and you have to say them over and over again. So if you put everything that you have out into the internet, they're going to come see you live, and you're going to have nothing, and they're not going to come back. You have to build an audience. Back to Fortune Feimster. You got to build an audience. So that's what I try and do. None of my current hour is on the internet. So if you see me live, you'll get a completely different hour. And that's how I feel like it should be. It should be you post the clips of your last hour, do whatever filler you got to do to get by, and then have a brand new hour so people can come see you live. It's like incentive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a smart way to think about it. Just for comics trying to chase views, but if people come in and see you live and all you have is half thought out crowd work and then a loose 10, that's the last time they're going to see you.
They're never going to come again. And there's so many different ways to put out clips and be on social media. Like, you don't have to do stand-up. You can do man in the street. You can do interviews. You can do podcasts. You can do so many different things. Make videos where you're judging TV shows. You know, like, there's so many, like, different forms of comedy. It doesn't have to be just stand-up. So if you were itching to get an online presence, that's great. But just don't do your jokes. Those are so sacred.
Well, what about...
Mommy says.
Yes, Muscle Mommy says.
Muscle Mommy says. Hide your jokes. Okay?
Well, what is your approach? Because like you said, being present on stage is important to you. So clearly crowd work and doing it authentically is like about creating a connection. So how are you able to be present, create that instant connection with the crowd? Are you like analyzing them beforehand, looking at, oh, there's a couple here, there's a single person there? Like, how are you able to build that instant rapport with them?
I don't know.
It's just like it's just like an impulse.
Yeah, I've always been very good at reading people and, well, not men I want to fuck, but.
Or marry.
Yeah, or marry.
I'm sorry, that was a
Very bad
callback.
at it.
I'm sorry. But it ended very happily.
We're very on good terms. I respect him.
But you got the cats?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
It did not end happily.
No, the cats are very happy, and that's what I care about.
Okay.
So it's fine. He's a very good cat dad.
Okay.
Yes, and they have a wonderful apartment and a lot of people who love them. So I'm fine.
Do we need to FaceTime the cats? Maybe we should FaceTime. Let me speak to the cats.
I mean, he sends me pictures, which is very nice.
That is very sweet.
Very sweet. But they are no longer my cats. Anyway, it kills me every day.
But you have 9 lives.
But I'll get another cat eventually, and it'll only be mine, and no one can take it from me. All right, I feel good. What were we talking about? We were talking about... Oh, my God.
I didn't mean to bring up the cats.
No, it's okay. Connecting with people.
Creating a connection on stage. That's what I feel like the longer I've done comedy, the more I've realized a lot of it is about creating a connection with the audience and building that trust to where it can be more conversational.
I find I'm just too honest. Like, I'm very honest. I'll never lie to whoever is. I feel like that helps. It's like I don't want to say likability, but it's it's like an honesty. You're up there. You're like, this is who I am. I'm going on tangents. I'm a little scattered, especially in the first 5 minutes. I'm always all over the place, but then I find the joke. Mm-hmm. I've always started that way too. I go on stage and I immediately call out the first thing I see, and then I start my jokes. That's why I was so worried about doing Colbert. I was like, I'd have to just go up and start. That's crazy. But when you get the hang of it, but I just tend to just be myself. I don't know. I don't know what I do. I truly don't know the answer to this question.
I just like that noise you made.
Adorable.
Yeah, you're just likable.
I guess. I don't know, but I watch Now You've Ruined It, and I go on stage, and everyone's like, "Boo! We hate you." No, but yeah, I just find that being vulnerable endears yourself to the audience, and you just I try and match their energy. And I'm very lucky in that the people who come to see me are generally happy. They're good. They're usually tough women, a lot of gays.
Mm-hmm.
They come out and they're happy to be out. And so if you respect that and you're happy back at them, it's like, together we're going to have a great night. You got to treat it like you're the captain of a ship.
Yeah.
A lot of water references here.
Yeah.
But it's just like they spent money to be here, and I spent money to be here. It's not like I'm getting rich off of doing this show for 75 people in Raleigh. It's like we're both taking a chance and trying our hardest. So you just kind of meet them where they are.
That's really cool, though, that you said a lot of your audience are gay people because you work with Fortune and Matteo a lot.
Yeah.
So are you seeing you open for them and then people from those shows will come see you?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, that's how I'll book clubs. I'll open for them in a certain place, and then I'll reach out to the local club. Be like, hey, I just opened for these people. Would love to do a show. And it usually works.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's great. I feel very fortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they're so wonderful, and their crowds are so lovely. Truly gay people are so well behaved in terms of they're here for a show and they will respect the show. And it's like, oh, thank you. Yeah. So I highly recommend getting gay fans. They're wonderful. Wonderful people.
And you're working with two of the top comics in the game in that space. So
they're amazing. Two incredibly hardworking people.
Is that what you see? Because you've worked with a lot of very successful people. Is that a common trend? Is these are people who aren't complacent or they're always working and striving for more and more?
They're always working and striving. They're always trying to get better. They don't think they're the best. Oh. That is so key. They're like, oh, that joke still needs work. That, it was 2 weeks before Fortune was going to tape her hour special. And she was like, I got to fix this one joke. I think this tag could be better. I think, and it's 2 weeks. You're still nitpicking this hour. Which is already incredible. They always feel that there's room for improvement and getting stronger and finding the laugh. And they're very impressive people.
Yeah. Well, as are you.
I'm okay.
You're okay. You don't like confidence. You don't.
You're talking to a woman. We do not take top compliments very well at all.
I'm sorry. I'm a white dude. Like,
I
smile,
got it at a thrift
honey.
store.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what women do.
I should remember that perspective. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm a straight white guy. Like, well, why don't you smile a little more,
Yeah.
honey? Like, don't be so down on yourself.
You know,
The
and I'm
world
like,
is for you. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I was just excited to interview you because ever since I saw you live that first show, I just became an instant fan. It was just like, you just kill at a level that's so high, so consistently. I'm just like, what is she doing? What does she know?
I mean, I love a callback, and I love I love the feeling that we're in this room together and we're all leaving with an inside joke. You know, we're all gonna leave with that little like, remember when she called out that satchel guy and then he did it and then we all went, you know, like I love the idea of us being in on it together. So, and I love talking to people. I love getting to know, like, I love my job. I love being on stage. It's the only time I don't think about all my problems. And I'm literally telling everybody all my problems. And I'm like, this is great. But yeah, I think that's what I like the most. I think it's just like we're all in it together. Like that's the mentality that I try and create within my crowd.
Do you have a pre-show ritual to help you prime that mindset? Because sometimes, I mean, if you just flew in and maybe you're tired or jet lagged or whatnot, like how do you hit that note every time?
Well, this is what I do. I sit down. I free write. I write for 20 minutes. I free write one full page, and then I go over my set list. I write it out 3 separate times, and then I get a smaller notebook, and I write it on a smaller notebook, rip out that page, do an inspirational quote on the back, put it in my butt pocket, and then I get a coffee, and I go to the show. That's what I do before every show. And then it's funny because I do that ritual every show. And when I have a 2-show night, I always notice that the second show is always worse because I do the ritual the first one, but I don't do it for the second one. And so I'm also a sports person. So superstition is also in my brain. I'm like, I didn't write it that third time. I'm a piece of shit. Like
Superstition, OCD,
yes,
one of the two.
Yeah. We're all psychotic. But yeah, that's what I do. I always make sure I shower before and I'm clean, but working out also helps a lot. That and then I do not drink. If I could, don't do any substances before you get on stage. Just make that a habit now, because it will hinder your thought process, and then you'll become dependent on it, and then you'll only think you're funny with it on, and I can guarantee you, you're not.
Is that what happened with you?
No.
Because you quit drinking, right?
I drink once in a while.
Okay.
But I used to drink a lot. And then it would start to bleed in before I would get on stage and this. And then I was like, I'm so funny. And then I watched the tape back and I'm like, okay, you were slurring your words.
Yeah.
And it also comes back to that respect. Like these people got a babysitter to come and see you perform and you're a little sloppy. That's so unprofessional. It's rude, you know? So I get in the habit of being sober, being present, and it'll pay off. You might have one good show with booze, but it's not longevity.
Yeah, and it's tough, especially open mics. It's like always at bars and stuff, and you can see comics start. 1 leads to 2, to then it's like all night, or then becomes it's expensive too, but also it's become a crutch.
Yeah, it's a crutch, and it separates the people who see this as a hobby and people who see it as a career.
Boom. Yep. You want to be
I have a mic, and I'm like,
yeah. Thank you for not dropping the actual mic. Yeah.
I respect the process.
Yes.
I respect you. Yeah.
So, well, what are you wanting to do, like, now? What is you want to do this? Where do we go after this? Do you
I know.
hang
what
out?
do we
Like,
want
what
to
do we do?
Who am I? I try and focus year by year. And again, it's just like, I want to get this hour ready. I want to get it as good as it could possibly be. I want a lot of people to see it. So if that means it's not on a network, that's fine. And I want to keep traveling and being on the road and building a fan base. And I want to keep learning from people who are much better than me. So that's why I feel very, very, very lucky to be at the Cellar, because everybody's better than you at the Cellar. And you sit there and you learn, you take it all in from all these people. and there's still so much to learn. Even after a decade, you're like, I know nothing. It's amazing.
What are some of your favorite things you've learned so far in your
Favorite
comedy?
things I've learned. What have I learned? I don't know. The importance of creating structure. Because comedy, our lives are so up and down. Like, we could go all day without talking to a single person. And our hours are weird. And so if you create a structure, you have to kind of treat it like a job. People have a 9-to-5 job. But we're only technically, like, if I have 3 spots that night, I'm only working for 45 minutes that night. And so it's like, okay, how do you get your 9-to-5 in? So I wake up before I do anything online. I sit down and I write for a half hour. I just sit down and write. And then I make breakfast, then do all my admin stuff for an hour, and then go to the gym. Like, you just have to create a day for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's just, well, why don't I drink until 4 a.m. on a Tuesday? And why don't I do that? And there's a time and place for that. That's also fun, but you have to create a structure so that it's like a job.
It's interesting you said you write on stage, but you do a lot of writing off stage as well.
Yeah, I try and keep ideas. I'll put down I'm trying to write about my parents more. They're fucking crazy. I love them. I have the most supportive parents in the planet. But they're and right now they're cleaning out their house and they're trying to give us all their shit that we don't want.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom is like, here's this family heirloom. Does anyone want it? And my dad's like, do you want a souvenir cup from Disneyland? It's like, no, what are you talking about? Anyway, so literally I have to get into the practice of thinking something's funny and weird and then writing it down. Otherwise I'll just forget about it until I'm on stage and someone reminds me of it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I like to go onto stage with an idea. I'm going to talk about my parents today, and then I usually riff about it, and then lines come out, and then I have to listen back to that. So that's my process.
So they would be trying to give you stuff. So you're like, okay, I'm going to go on stage and talk about my parents trying to give me stuff.
Yeah.
Or do you have it crystallized into a premise or an angle on it? Or it's just more broad?
Angle. The funny part for me is the difference between what they're trying to give away.
Okay.
And so I'll go off of that. I'll be like, okay, my dad's trash and my mom is too sentimental with it. And it's just but you had this one spoon when you were 4. And it's I don't want the spoon,
Mm-hmm.
So that is what I'll go up with, and then I'll riff about that. Sometimes I even work backwards. I'll think of a funny line, and then I'll write a joke back from that.
Mm-hmm.
There's this one I have, women, here's all my new jokes.
My jokes aren't anywhere. Now
yeah,
we're just going to
I know, they're all here.
post this as your special.
Yeah. When women try and find themselves and men try and fix themselves. So women get to their 30s and they're like, I've been people pleasing. Who am I? And men get to their 40s and they're like, if I don't change, Deborah's going to leave. So the line was Deborah's going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And so I worked backwards from that just because I thought it was funny to say, if I don't change, Deborah's going to leave.
Yeah.
It's just, so I'll think of that line and they'll be like, okay, well, how can I make that work? And same with I don't know if you remember 3 Finger Lisa.
Is she a muscle mommy as well?
No.
Is she?
It's a joke I had about finding out what your boyfriend's ex-girlfriend liked in bed based on what he does to you the first time you have sex. And one was, it's 3 Fingered Lisa.
I must have prayed that one away.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I heard that
the
and did
youth
Hail
pastor
Marys.
heard that was 3 fingers.
My heavens,
My heavens, only God's rod can go in there. See, call it God's rod. You don't have to call it a dick. Okay, God's rod.
I was just thinking of you saying right on stage, so I was kind of figuring out. I love the idea of writing on stage. Mm-hmm. And I feel like when I write off stage, I have more ideas when I am on stage that'll come out organically. But I still will have that fear of oh, okay, it's not quite working, then I will just pull back.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's also stopping me from developing material faster as well, because I will still almost self-sabotage myself in those moments.
The fear of the bomb.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't like going on stage without having an end goal.
Okay.
You know, like, so if I come up with an idea, I'll try and find one line that I think will work, and then I will make sure I say that line. But how I get there is always a sloppy mess. It's blah, 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 and then usually something funny is, okay, then, and then it's building it out. In order to write on stage, you have to get on stage a lot.
Yes.
And when I started, like you said at the beginning, I was doing 30 mics a week. And what I did, I don't know if this helps. It might help. We'll say it. I would go by time. So the reason I did so many mics was because a lot of the mics were only 2 to 5 minutes. And so my goal was to be on stage every week for at least an hour. And so I would keep track of how much time I was on stage. And so if I had a set that was 10 minutes, then that would be 10 minutes. And then I would only need a certain amount of mics in order to fill up the rest of that hour for the week. So that helped me a lot, just getting comfortable on stage and standing on stage. And so then when you start to write on stage, you have to be comfortable on stage. You can't not know yourself and not know what to do with your hands, and then write on stage. You're not going to get anything done. You're too uncomfortable. So the first 4 years I did comedy, I kept track by time. And then I went for an hour on stage. I got better with an hour and a half, and then 2 hours. And then I stopped at 2 hours because I was like, you're getting enough stage time. You're fine. But that was really important. Just the actual act of being on stage and getting comfortable with yourself and knowing how you look on stage is so important. And then writing on stage becomes easier after that. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Do I sound like a tool?
No, it was very informative.
Does anybody have to pee?
It was very informative. Yeah, it sounds like you have to pee, so we can land this plane.
No, I do not have to pee.
Pee.
The creatine really clogs you up. Take that out. Please don't let anyone know that I poop.
Girls poop? Spoiler alert. This just in.
Yeah, he's never seen his wife poop.
I've never physically watched her, if that's what you mean.
Oh, you're not into that. Okay. A little poopy daddy.
Well, a question I always ask comics on here is their worst bomb.
Oh,
so on the topic of bombing, what are some of your most unforgettable?
I think I had one last week. Holy shit!
That recently?
I do well, but if you're not into this, it is. They hate it. It is like a borderline catastrophe. Oh my God. Yeah. So you either really like me or you put up with me, or you hate everything I've ever said and done and you never want to see me again in your life. So when I bomb. And I'm usually pretty good about being able to save it. Like, okay, they don't want this, I'll switch to this, blah, 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 blah. Unless they want clean material, and then I'm like, I got another for you. But then I'll do crowd work. If they want clean material, I'll do crowd work, But literally, I remember once I was hosting at New York Comedy Club, great club. But not based on this story, but it is a great club. I was on stage. There was this woman. She kept shouting out, and I told her multiple times, you have to stop shouting out. You have to stop. And it was on a Tuesday, so they didn't have a bodyguard in the room. Now they have a bodyguard in the room for this very story every single night. I'm the reason. So I was doing fine, and then it started to go because this woman kept being too much, and then she would shout out to people on stage. She was shouting out racist stuff. Alingong Mitra, who's hilarious, he was on stage, happens to be Indian. And she just started shouting out, do the voice. I know. And he was like, I'm talking about my dad. He's literally talking about anything else. And he's like, I'm not doing the voice. It's crazy. She was an insane person. Then it comes to the check spot. I go up. She answers the phone. She gets a call. She answers the phone. I say, Miss, you can't do this. And while doing crowd work with her, I found out that she had a lot of money, and she was there with her sugar daddy or her sugar baby or whatever, this young guy. And she was a rich woman, well kept, whatever. And so I said, Miss, just because you're rich doesn't mean you can treat the rest of us like shit. They also paid to see the show. And she got so mad. She stood up, took her drink, went across 3 rows of people and threw it at me. covered me in whiskey Coke. Yeah, I'll never forget it. It was Jack Daniels. Just doused me in it. And then the guy who was the table next to her, who was pissed at her for constantly yelling out, he stood up and tried to fight the sugar baby. And so a fight broke out in the back row. And she was screaming at me, and I'm just on stage, like, being like, no one get up. It's going to be okay. We're all fine. Just sit back down. They're taking care of it. Blah, 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 blah. Look at me. I'm wet. I blacked out. I don't remember what I said, but my friend Leah Bonema told me, she was like, you were just making jokes the whole time. You were like, this is my favorite drink. Oh, I get to wring out my sweater later and chug it. And I'm like, I did? I don't even remember. But, yeah, then that woman got kicked out, and then we found out later that was actually her son, and her husband had died a week before. And so she was there to like forget her sorrows. And I was like, bitch, you fucked up. That's an insane thing to do. But now she is forever banned at the club. And now they always have security every day. I mean, you should have seen it. She threw the drink at me. It parted the room. There was only like 30 people in the room, and they all stood up and went on either sides of the room. And I'm like, no, everybody sit back down. It's okay. I'm the messy one. You're not going to get messy. She has no more drink. It's okay. Like, I lost my mind. But that's when I learned, like, I got too serious when I said, just because you have money doesn't mean you can treat the rest of us like shit. That's not a good line. That's like me making a point. It's not telling a joke. I was right, but you got to keep it a little lighter, or just have them kicked out of the room. It's okay. The show will go on if you say, hey, these people got to go. They've been disrespectful the whole time. Kick them out. That's also fine. You can also tell people to leave.
But what happens to the show after that? Does it still keep going?
I kept going.
Your next comic
was Leah Bonema. I ate the checks. They all paid their checks. I was just up there drenched. And then I said, you guys ready for one more? And once she was out of the room and everything, and then Leah went up and she had a great set. And then I went back up and I ended the show. And then afterwards, everyone shook my hand. And I actually had to stay in the back until the woman was gone, because they did call the police. Technically, it was an assault. And I was like, oh, I was assaulted.
Oh, I'm getting paid for this.
I know.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then, but yeah, everybody stayed around and be like, that was fun. Thank you for like, she was awful. We loved you. Like, it was very nice. But it was, that's probably the most memorable bomb I've ever had.
How early into your career was that?
That was 6 years in.
6 years in.
I'd done Colbert. I had not done Corden. Yeah. So it was woof. That one was tough. That was a tough lesson to learn, and I'll never forget it.
But those are the lessons that we grow from, though. So
yeah.
I think, like, it all comes back to, like you saying, this is all very difficult and requires years of trial and error.
Yes.
So it's a marathon.
Yeah. You finally get to a point. I remember opening, I forget someone. So I forget who I opened for, but they said if they get no warnings, if they start shouting out, kick them out of the room. And I was like, oh, that's a little harsh. And then I went through everything that I've been through, and now I opened for Matteo, and Matteo was like, if they get obnoxious, kick them out of the room. No warnings. And I was like, good for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Don't you dare shout at us. We're artists. So it's like, you learn that it's like, yeah, because those people, they just keep causing problems. And if they're not kicked out, they're going to ruin the show for everyone else.
Yeah. Well, especially if they're coming for crowd work now.
Yes. So with me, because I do crowd work clips, I will give them a warning and I will shut them down by myself. But then I have no shame in being like, hey, you guys are ruining the show. Can you just stop doing that? Mm-hmm. And if they can't do that, then I say, you got to go. You got to get out. So you get 3 strikes with me. I shouldn't be saying this. No one should take this out.
People are going to push it. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like the playful, I'll shut you down. If you keep coming, I'll tell you sincerely to stop. And then the third time, get out. You're not going to ruin it for this mom of 3 who got a babysitter and just wants to laugh. Okay. She's like, I have no fun in my life. I came here tonight. I saw you on Facebook. I just want to see a show. Yeah.
Well, I'm so excited to be capturing this part of your career. I really do feel like you're at a point where you're about to really hit the next level. So I'm excited to capture this moment.
From your mouth to God's ears. Although I'm happy. I'm genuinely happy.
That's great.
So if it gets better, great. If it stays the same, also great. I'm just thankful to be surviving off of comedy.
Amen to that.
Amen. That's it.
Yeah. Well, is there anything? Where would you like the Hot Breathiverse to support you? I guess buy your album.
Buy my album, Dirty Bird.
On Apple.
On
on
Apple. It's also on Spotify.
Okay.
But I get more money if you buy it. Thank you.
Yeah. Are you on Sirius?
I'm on Sirius.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, there's money there.
There's money there.
I would assume you would have gotten on there by now.
Big butts.
It's not nothing.
It's not nothing. It really helped me move.
Yeah. And like during
Really
the pandemic, I was like, I'm so glad I have stuff on
Yeah,
here.
yeah. That's when I wish I had. But at Caitlin Peluffo on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Although TikTok for however long you can.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then stay tuned because I'm on the road a bunch, especially in April or March, April, May. I'm out there a ton. So I'm probably coming to your city. So if you follow me on Instagram, feel free to message me too. I answer everything. So.
Well, don't say that. Not everything.
Oh yeah, don't send me a picture of your penis.
Have you been getting those?
Oh my. I'm a woman in comedy who talks about sex. It's just I only get penises. And then I got a very sincere email who was like, "Do you really like weak men?" Here's a picture.
Even the font was weak.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
Was
I was like, "Oh my god!"
Italic.
Yeah.
It was leaning. It was depressed font. It was leaning over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, "You're very sweet. No, thank you." Yeah.
Well, now you're posting workout stuff too. I'm sure you get some thirst traps in
my
there.
God. Yeah. I'm grateful. I will respond unless you show me a picture of your dick.
The health must have helped everything too, though. Like when you have more clarity and just more motivation when you're healthier too.
Yeah, and when you're not drinking all the time.
Yeah.
And you go to therapy and you realize why you're doing half the shit you're doing. I was also a self-sabotager, so yeah, therapy and taking care of your body. You only get one body. They say it all the time. You only get one. But your physical health directly correlates to your mental health. And if you can't write, you can't work. So there you go. But
Another mic drop. Drop the actual mic. Yes.
On my lap, though. Soft landing. I would never disrespect your little microphone.
Thank you so much. These are big microphones.
Big
What are you
boy
doing?
microphone.
They're big boy microphones. These aren't weak.
Big.
They're gold.
No. Are you really into weak men? So funny. So you are adorable. Thank you.
Well, there it is, Hot Breathiverse. Go follow Caitlin. Go buy her album and go see her live. This is legitimately one of the funniest comics working today. And if you enjoy these episodes and you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel and join our email list where we send out weekly comedy tips and much more. But until then, we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye, Hot
Thanks for having
Breathiverse.
me.